Now, Ivory Coast plunged into a political crisis in December when Mr. Mbagbo rejected election results that showed Ouattara had been elected president. Hundreds of people have been killed in the post-election fighting. VOA Scott Stearns has the latest on the clashes.
Again, pro-Ouattara forces battled to take control of Mr. Gbagbo's Abidjan residence, and again his loyalists held out against the assault, defending Mr. Mbagbo in an underground bunker, where he's refusing to admit that he lost November's presidential election. Ouattara forces gave French and United Nations officials more than a day to negotiate his surrender. But when Mr. Mbagbo refused to sign a document recognizing Mr. Ouattara as the country's duly elected president, the battle resumed to take him alive and end Ivory Coast's 4-month political crisis. Gbagbo supporters in Paris demonstrated outside the French parliament, criticizing President Nicolas Sarkozy for ordering French troops to join a UN assault on Gbagbo heavy weapons in Abidjan. President Sarkozy and Secretary General Ban Ki-moon say they're acting within a Security Council mandate to protect civilians and UN peacekeepers. Gbagbo supporters say it's part of an assassination attempt against their leader.
We are angry. We've had enough. You can't just go to Ivory Coast because you are a foreign power from the West and because you want to parachute one of your own into power.
Gbagbo supporters say he did not open talks with UN and French officials to surrender, but simply to ask for a ceasefire after they destroyed heavy weapons in a helicopter attack on the Mbagbo residence and the main military barracks. Gbagbo attorney Alain Ouattara says the assault by pro-Ouattara fighters will not succeed in forcing Mr. Gbagbo's surrender.
President Mbagbo will never surrender to anyone, not to the rebellion, not to the UN, not even to France. President Mbagbo is the elected president of the Ivory Coast, and it is because of the results of the Constitutional Council that he remains in that position. He is not a king or an emperor who would surrender.
Mr. Gbagbo's refusal to accept a West African Regional Alliance offer for a safe and dignified exit is his latest and perhaps one of his last acts of defiance. A Gbagbo surrender and electoral concession would make it far easier for Mr. Ouattara to reunite the country. But if Mr. Gbagbo leaves power a self-proclaimed martyr of democracy, it will be far harder to bring his supporters behind a new Ouattara government. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Accra.